Salutations, my fellow dandies! It's me, Jack Dandy, and we're back in Final Fantasy XIV for Shadowbringers, the post-Shadowbringers main story quest. We are finding a way to enslave our friends so that we can take them home. I have the wrong glasses on. These glasses make me wink too much. Let me swap my glasses over. You'll notice that I am finally, after 70-something streams of Final Fantasy XIV, I am finally ready for Triple Triad at any point. I have put down the controller, and I'm now ready for a game of Triple Triad at any moment. I've had these arms commissioned for me by the delightfully dandy Rebitron, who is in chat today. Salutations. And salutations to everyone else in chat today. I hope you are all fine and dandy this afternoon. Yeah, I look. I've even got my own card. It's me. I'm terrible. I have awful numbers. I also realise if you've made me a 4-star card, I'm like a 1-star card with those numbers. My numbers are 0, 4, 1, and 2. I'd be really good in reversal. Is that the mode where the lower number wins? Like I'd be top tier card for that, but otherwise I'm an awful card. So yeah, we've finished Shadowbringers. We were just talking in chat about Emmett, our boy Emmett. He was. Yes, I got the idea. I got the impression that you liked him, Citratus. The fact that you called him Daddy was a slight hint. But yeah, Emmett was great, but he's dead for now. And I'm trying to get my friends home before their bodies, before their ghosts become disentangled from their bodies too much. So I'm trying to catch them in Pokeballs so that I can take them home with me as my property. And we have hired this, I can't remember what they're called, but this little Land Before Time dinosaur lady to help us out. And she's thrilled because we keep telling her to sit. I think that's about where we are. Numo, that's what they're called. The Numo, yes. They are, like, incredibly subservient. It kind of reminds me, if you've seen Dragon Ball Abridged, of the people from the Broly film. They're weird. Keep an eye out for our gentleman inspector. He may show up. Oh, does he? Because I know that there's not a Hildebrand quest for Shadowbringers, which is its biggest failing as far as I'm concerned. Because every other expansion does have one. But okay, I will keep an eye out for it. Yes, it is reversal. Okay, cool. He's a he, I think. Is he? Well, whatever. Dog. He's a dog man, as he said. Whatever it is, Beck is here to help us out. I forget what we were doing. Beck is ready to speak of the metaphysical. Oh yeah, we were. They wanted to go and see some patients who had become comatose thanks to the light, and we were like, "Here you go," and they're like, "Oh yeah, it sucks. I can cure this." It's like, could you have done this at any point? It's like, yeah. You should have worked your way through my weird magical Fantasia mansion earlier. Chance for a cameo of him on this patch. Ah, I shall keep my peepers peeled. I think we can probably finish this patch today. There's not that many quests. No worries, Reb. Have a good sleep. Thanks for swinging by, even if it was only short. Have a good sleep. You got to get rested for more Tears of the Kingdom. And thank you again for the arms. They are much appreciated. Look at me. Now at any point, I'm ready. I'm ready. Ooh, a red mage costume. Tempting. Although I'm like 7 levels away from switching class, so maybe. Because I want to play as a samurai once I level the red mage to 90. You know, Samurai Jack. Gotta be done. I can't remember what Beck sounds like. I think I just gave it a dog voice, but it sounded... Um, I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. I was once a mage of the Royal Court of Vobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labours. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. Good night. Just say bark bark. Just throw a dog treat at its head. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. I think their voice is more high-pitched, but I can't get my voice up that high. And now you have a chance to redeem yourself. But always look on the bright side. That I do. A comforting thought indeed. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They're able... Hang on, are we going to summon a... I have a primal. We have enough problems with that in our world. They're able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're going to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. We are dying. Slowly. Which, I mean, I suppose is true of all of us, but more so. Whatever regents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. Can you believe this one? I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humour them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine, we'll pay a visit to Ilmeg. Though, I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Don't worry about it. Seek out the new Mo of Planeni. They'll be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? Am I needed? Can I take 5? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Oh, I have to find the clay. Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, I forgot to mention. It's currently the Make It Rain campaign of the Gold Saucer. So I normally nip to the Gold Saucer before I start streaming, just to turn in all my stuff. And I think this is probably the best run I've ever had at the Gold Saucer. I got the second prize, and then 2 prize. This is the mini cackpot. So I got the second prize and 2 first prize, top prize tickets in a row. Then I went to the big cackpot, and I got 3rd place, which is the best I've ever done. I mean, it doesn't give you a huge amount of MGP, but it's nice seeing all of these big numbers. I think it's 30. I think it's over 100,000 MGP I earned there in 2 minutes. So I just thought I'd brag about that a little bit before we carried on. Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? I mean, I guess either of these. I guess the miners are twine. Ah, yes, they would have pointed you in the right direction, I'm sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which affects the people here. To twine! I need to at some point, I mean, in the future, I need to do some gemstone. I also can't remember what you do to actually, like, level this up. But I have to do some gemstone farming at some point. 'Cause there's about 8 cards that are locked behind these friggin' gemstone merchants. Hey, Stratus. Jack! Well, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Nabetharang. Oh, is that the one that got thrown by that samurai guy? The trolley was no trouble, but Talos would have been another matter had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chai nurse. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. I don't remember what any of these characters sound like. Like a giant trolley, but Magnus still refuses to steal the good we could do with it. Why don't you just build a train? Why do you have to be weird? You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you could go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Jack here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? I'm trying to do his voice and I can't quite get my mouth to do the noises. I see. And this familiar requires clay from Amarang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find some quality clay, it's us. Oh, have a nice shower, Strauss. I'll see when you get back. Can you clean? Yeah, sure. Saying that isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. Why, sometimes it'd just be nice if I just went, hey, I need some clay, and they went, oh yeah, here's some. After everything you did for us, here's some. Just take it and go. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Baran mines to make adobe bricks. But now you have to pay a subscription, and it's not really... Most of us just pirate the bricks these days. Places are swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. Yeah. I should be able to fly here now, can't I? Yes! Excellent. I don't know why I'm surprised. I went out of my way last week to, after the stream, to unlock all the flying maps everywhere, because I thought, well, I mean, the entire, I assume the majority of the post-Stormblood quests take place in the first. So, this will speed things up. If I can just go in, if I can just A to B in a straight line. Yeah, you keep walking, bird. Speaking of, should I bother getting my bird out? I got 30. I got 30 geishels. Why not? It's always nice to see Augustus, even if he doesn't friggin' do anything. My main combat. Oh. Oh, we did mention the coyotes. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think I got my bird out. Otherwise, I might have struggled with this. Powerful, powerful foe. Truly one for the history books. Back. Oh, Alpha and Alice back already. That's quick. The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. Sorry to disappoint them, not one of them's on a hedge. You have the clay, I take it. I do. Wonderful. We will combine the clay and the water, and heat the mixture with the fey lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beck, look, I have a question. In the event we had neither this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Alaric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I, and I frankly couldn't give a shit. I dare say there are few in all of Nordland more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Jack? She's the best woman for the job. I mean, she hasn't really mentioned it in the last sort of 10 hours or so, but now that we're back here, yeah, sure. It's a big part of this quest. I'll give it my all for Howrick, for Tesleen. When we are of a mind on the matter. We are all of a mind on the matter. Alice shall be the one to conjure the familiar. I suppose Alice had been here for like years before I got here doing this stuff, so.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay?
It's not even close to the voice I was doing, is it?
Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
I love this as Alice. It's just terrible, and she makes some sort of like misshapen monstrosity.
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean.
It sounds like a pig.
There we are. How's that?
Yeah.
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
Oh, it's not gonna, we're not going to bring it to life, and it's going to start being like, kill me! Like, it's going to be okay, is it?
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality.
Yeah, but what if that's what it looks like, you know, in Alice's imagination as well?
Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
Before it
With
just leans
flesh
over,
of clay, I bid thee rise.
pulls the child
On
back a few
wings of
feet just to be
dreams
safe.
to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Oh, it worked.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric.
Okay, I'll be honest, I had missed the point of why we were doing this. It was to save Halric. He's just like an emotional support pig.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
Let's call it Steve.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
It's no Steve. Alright, we've successfully given the child heartburn. That's a step in the right direction.
Mother, I...
Yes, good. The child has remembered that he's all alone. What happened? So did we really just recover his consciousness just long enough for him to feel sad? That feels kind of torturous. What's it like that no one else in this camp cares? Like, we're over here creating a clay pig to save these patients, and they're just like, just Alice, just ignore her. How is the bag look? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of colour has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if it weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. Oh, I wonder if she could... I mean, I guess... Yeah, I mean, it's the same principle. I wonder if she could use the same process to save that little goblin thing that she grew attached to in back in Eorzea. I mean, that's probably what this is building towards, right? We use the pig on the goblin. It's not a goblin, but I can't remember what it's called. But that thing. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realised is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Another 2 or 3 years of this daily. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I would need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Aurosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beglug said that when a soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does it not sound like a lot like some of the tempered back at the source? Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not really. It is the fate of the most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gaboo! Hey, I was right on the mark. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Harrick's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gaboo fellow of who you speak? It's really not worth explaining. It's just some little monster child that Alisea grew fond of. I see. His condition does sound similar. Yet, there is much more about the soul that remains unknown, even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will be patient. Wait, which patience were you talking about? I would devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beglug and see if you can make some headway with their newly posited theories. I wouldn't tell you to rest. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I found you! Kai Sher? What are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai's beside herself. Sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beglug. I just waddle over there with these little dog legs. It'll take me about a week. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Ulmor's at stake. It's alright, we needed something to do. Oh well then. To Ulmor. Lady Chai's up in the parlour. Best not keep her waiting, eh? You going out to say? The future of Ulmor is at stake, is it? Well, do for them what you can, but keep an eye on Alphino, would you? See to it he doesn't involve himself more than is necessary. Alright. You know what he's like, nosy little bugger. Why did I move? I'll run in the direction of Yulmor. I'll teleport faster if I've got less distance to travel. Let's think if anything's changed really, but it's all pretty much the same. Well, naught here seems out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that, sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. Oh. When they said outside, they didn't mean... No, like on the balcony. Hi, Chai.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
But that is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
Oh, is that all?
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see.
There's a big shoes
After
to
a
fill.
lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Did I get any votes?
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
Yeah, but, I killed the thing. So did anyone vote for me?
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
Okay. So we're gonna vote for someone who's...
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee?
Who came second? Can we just... did I come second? Did anyone
Please,
vote...
Lady Chai, dry your eyes.
Did anyone vote for Elfino? Can I just get a breakdown of who voted for who?
Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
Is that like a notice board or something with the results on? I'm just curious.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I'll be honest, I was only half paying attention. I was just thinking about who else might have beaten me. But now, if you wouldn't have fled, yeah, that guy who was complaining all the time, I'm sure he's totally committed.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return. Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Yeah. He hasn't fled. It's entirely possible he was kidnapped, or he was taken.
Thank you, my
or
dear boy.
Maybe he just...
You have set my mind at ease.
Maybe
I will trust in my husband and await his return.
he just slipped and fell off the balcony, and he's just a splatter on the rocks below. I mean, if we sent out a search party, do we know exactly? Oh, that's an easy one. I guess I'll take the salad. Not the salad, the money. Never take the salad. Not when I've got... Not when I've got pocket sausages. No. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here would have seen something, I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or, failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. Ugh. I didn't realise it was called the Glory Gate. Although if I did, I'm sure I would have made a joke about it at the time, the first time we came here. Master Chai? Why, yes, I spoke with him recently. I recall he was in a rather dour mood. Concerned about Yulmore's neglect of industry, you see. With Lord Varthry's apparent inexhaustible stores of meal, and no great need for money, it's little wonder our business is all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Chai that the Boutique of Splendours would do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yulmore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. I've learnt about the stagnant state of business in Yulmore. Hey. It's weird that even like after Volthry's been kicked out, you guys are all still sleeping down here in tents. You'd think they would have let you indoors in like the nice, you know, the nice rooms with the beds. I mean, it's nice they've at least given you like a bench to sit on. Oh yeah, I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with the poor buggers lately come from right. So he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts. And we're sure we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing. There was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't want to just survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling himself, something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. It looked like he was heading for Gate Town when I last saw him. So, the state of business... There's just random, like, really nice chairs hanging around. Maybe these are chairs that just slipped off the balcony and they're like, mine! Such a liberty having to just run around. Now those... Looking for Master Chai, are you? Something amiss? And as I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while about his concerns over the city's defences, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Vorthry, and finding General Rand... Sorry about that. I did kick your ass, though. Then maybe that's why I didn't win the mayoral election, because I beat up too many of the members of, the people voting. Finding General Ranji in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longer-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. I mean, you did kill him. But without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting. Oh, apparently I did something. Anyway, funding permitting, I proposed replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts of Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Colucia as well. And I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Right. Yeah, no, okay, it does make sense that I didn't win, given how many of them I beat up. Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? I wrote them down. You know how I don't like talking. Interesting. Apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. I can't stop yawning. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps, but the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? So is he planning on turning, like, Yulmore into the first gold saucer or something? That'd be pretty cool. All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Yulmore but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical then that, having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. Jack, if you would go and make inquiries in Right, I shall do likewise in Stilltide. Gate Town I leave to you, Kaishir. Fair enough. Where should we meet when we're finished? Well, Topperong would seem to be his next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, but if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Alright. Can I fly here yet? No, I can't. I have to walk slightly over here, and now I can fly. Do I want to fly, though, or do I want to teleport? Where am I? Where am I going? Ah. Oh. Put the controller in my lap and nope. There. Shouldn't be that difficult to teleport. Hey, Hasselot. Hastelot. Hastelot. Oh, that doesn't ring any bells. There was a rather dapper-looking Mistle gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of mule and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And Vorthri thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Vorthri's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend. Chai Nuz, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, but he left soon after, and that was that. Okay. Then to, Topperong. Actually, can I... No, I can't. But I can... fly. Man, we would have saved ourselves a lot of time with this lift if I could have just got my griffin out. I wonder when that mountain's going to dissipate and go back down. So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? How'd you get it before me? I see. Kai Shir and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Colusia. The only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we're quick, we may catch up with him. Is Amity the dwarf town, or is it the... No, it's the other one. Still. a lot faster to get to now. Especially since I can fly over all of the defective tailors. Maybe that's what it's like. But could you do something about all of the zombie robots that keep wandering around our farm? They're scaring the animals. I knows. Jack, Alphino, Kaishir, what are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We were looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word and bade us return you to her side. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in her chambers. I suppose she could have overlooked it. When she gets an idea into her head. I can only apologise. No harm done, Master Chai. But since we're here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you'd been elected mayor, and from what we gathered from the nearby villages, you've been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Calucia. That much is true, but I'm by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see. And you believe said resources can be found here? Indeed. The people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. What little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. We believe in you, Master Chai. Chai, he's our man if he can't do it. I mean, I guess I could, as second place. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. That dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble, or a boil more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze, but you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gulg, didn't you? How hard could Mayorin be? You're going to steer Yulmore to a better future, I know it. And I want out, properly out. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you let me come with you, that is. It's like, I really had my mind set on some, like, people back in Yulmore who are seriously way more qualified than you. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you. But I can't deny it gives me heart. Come, then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I'm here. To find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity? Brendan is his name, and yes, he is, or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vorthry's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Brendan was the left, and between them they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. Even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal, then. As I recall, you made a rather favourable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. Well, you, anyway. Didn't I... wasn't he responsible for him being thrown off the balcony? Greetings, friend, and to you too, Master Chai. I presume you're here to ask after Rendon. I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Okay, well, he clearly doesn't have any hard feelings if he was. Yes, well, with Vorthri gone, Yulmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendell's counsel in the hope that we could build a better Yulmore together, and that is still my wish, but given how abominably you were mistreated there, I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Why not, Master Chai? I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore, and I would not see you suffer for Vorthri's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone who deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes and the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying, he sees it as well. Let's let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change? I believe he was heading towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well, to Pit 8 we shall go, and I will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe. What's Pit 8? Like some motorcycle bar or something. Sounds cool. Do they have a snooker table? I forgot I had this one.
Well, well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Vorthri's villainy. The famous warriors of darkness.
Yeah, whoa, what's this plural business? I'm the warrior of darkness. Alphino is just here.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Vorthri. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all.
Yeah, good job.
But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthri was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthri's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
It's a good question. That's well asked.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us.
Didn't they only have enough... Oh no, I suppose the people in Yulmore weren't eating the mule. They were feeding that to the people outside of Yulmore. Did they not have any mule in Yulmore?
The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur.
I can make a giant robot out of rocks, but...
My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that.
I like his coat. By the way. It's nice. Wonder if you can get that coat.
But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
And by solve it on your own, I mean with the help of your friend here, with the pompadour. Because I gotta do something. What's there? Shire Conservators Co. I do have a Shire set. Is that for... oh, I can't wear it. Dang it. It's class gear. Oh, it's not for my class. Makes sense, so the Shire stuff is probably some of the best looking non-Red Mage clothes I have. Right then. Is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Yes, meal being rather neither a desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. How about cannibalism? It's like, very good. We'll eat the poor. That'll solve 2 birds with 1 stone. A combination of measures would seem to be that in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbours. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade and for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbours, guarantee security and stability in the region, and, most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My, think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes. It becomes a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago after speaking with the people of Yulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chai Nuz. I have. Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Rendon, and one to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos. But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plans could be put into effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time at all. Oh, that's where I come in, is it? Okay. Okay, well, give me a stew. Cheesecake! Ooh. Now, this game makes me hungry sometimes. Like, a Kookaroo Rusk isn't going to make me hungry, but a Pixelberry cheesecake. Oh! All I have is ice cream. It'd be nice to have something warm. Rendon is quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply do not have, which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Kalushia. Oh, they are going to do something about the zombie robot problem. Excellent. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at the top rung. And come with me. Rendon, you come with us as well, then. And so you stay here and keep folding your arms in the rain. Well, this is certainly something to do, isn't it? I wonder if there's going to be like a... like at the end of Heavenswood, where you have to give money to the rebuilding effort for one of the destroyed settlements. Whether there's going to be like, okay, now you need to give us money again so that we can rebuild Yulmore. And it's like, I don't own a house. Why am I giving money to rebuild a country? Aha, the old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dastardly potent insulating powder capable of holding the flow of ether in a Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let fly, thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Yulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I'd ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I've said before, it's high time we learn how to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Chai. Even if the Tailor's are no threat, there's 101 other things out there waiting to make a meal of you. Now that's as may be, Kaishir, but Rendon tasked me with solving this problem, and I will not sit by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes realised. Not this time. Which isn't to say the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Here. Yeah, get yourself into danger. That's how I do it, you know. Just throw yourself in head first, die a few times. Death never hurt anyone, it's fine. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intention of dying for this. I've always preferred living to see the fruits of my labour. I've got a couple of Phoenix Downs. It's fine, go for it. Go nuts. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. It is as Kai Shir says, these lands are dangerous if one is not careful. I would ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that get in the way of my work. I will also need you to alert me when it is safe to subdue the tailors. Understood? Good. And let's be off to the quick way. Though through the north gate and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. So I'm gonna be Chai's spotter. No. Oh. Keep a lookout for danger and alert Chai knows when it's safe to incapacitate the tailors. You may move the spyglass as well as zoom in and out. Point the spyglass at Chai knows to give him the signal to sneak near the tailors with R2 or X. I have a choice. I pressed the button multiple times, by the way. I guess I have to give the signal to him. Okay. I mean... Alright, I guess I'll try that again. It was definitely not looking... Maybe you gotta, like, give it a second after he turns around so he's not... And go. Yeah, like, just, like, give it a second so it's properly... I don't know, locked in to looking the other way. That's to caught him in its peripheral. I did it. I did it. Let's move on to another tailor, shall we? Apparently that was the right time. I don't know what we're going to do with the fire bombs that are there, but... That's 2. Rule of 3. So we're going to do this one more time. I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. You may leave the next one to me, Jack. You're going to fastball it from there. Haha, that should do it. Now we have all we need to proceed. Okay, that's fairly eventless. Yeah! He's stoked. Like, what was stopping you from doing this, like, years ago? And maybe using the robots as defense against the Sin Eaters. Like, oh, absolutely nothing. Just didn't want to. I can scarcely believe it. It was reckless. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I suppose the lift was broken. I did it. Have I proven that I can be the mayor yet? Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Yulmore's food store showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it is plain your time at Daedalus Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Yulmore. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains, I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which is why I would ask you to join me and grant Yulmore the benefit of your counsel. I would be honoured. Apparently I'm easily convinced. I mean, 3 giant robots, I suppose, is, you know, not many people could do this. When the people behold these Talos, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. Either out of admiration or fear, either way is good. It would seem Yulmore's leadership is at last in capable hands, would you not agree? Yeah, I guess I'll relinquish the post. We should probably get getting back soon, Master Chai. After you've tinkered with the Talos and all that, Lady Chai's worried sick. It's a lot more dramatic a scene with the skies all grey and windy like that. It's like, that didn't really need to be quite so dramatic.
Right. Right then. Form a line and make for Yulmore.
Can we not get them to carry us? Can I have one as a mount? Maybe that would be my quest reward at the end of this or something. I know that it's not, because I looked at the quest rewards for this for the Stormblood for Shadowbringers, but there might be a mount though. Probably linked to a dungeon or something. It's normally where they are, isn't it?
Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard!
It's like, oh wow,
all of you!
Runaway giant robots. Let's go and let's get closer. They could kill us. It's a shame we don't have mobile phones to film on.
Is that?
Oh, there's a mount in the FF Tactics raid, is there?
Darling, you're back.
It's surprising what 3 giant robots can do for a man's confidence. Look at that swagger.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see.
Dearest, I can't.
Oh dear.
Oh, well, guess it's up to me then, as second place.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Alright, Lenny.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Oh, how wonderful!
Please!
We're gonna get the man some sort of back brace. Like, or a kelcum or something. Or a wheelchair. You know, either way. And that was quite a reception. One Master Chai will struggle to forget. But more seriously, the arrival of the Talos has seized the public's attention. Once word has spread around Yulmore, it would be that much simpler to gather one and all so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. Can we get indoors? It's very cold and windy out here. No need to fret, Jack. I have never felt better. I'm not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Yulmore. As for where to do it, if we're to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose any place large enough would be the Emergent. Then I will go and spread the word among the citizens, both free and bonded, that they are to assemble there to meet their new mayor. You there, Kai Shear, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gate Town and the derelicts? Of course I will. Good lad. Good lad. I'll let the guards know not to bar the way to Vorthry's chambers. Goes without saying that I expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend, assuming he's available. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? Dorman at the Crown Left will show you up. You'll show me up, will he? Oh. I'll show him up. Canopy? Canopy. Sick. Reckon you can get a Talos mount? I want to ride around on a giant robot. I mean, I do have a giant robot that I can ride around in. That is technically... Ooh. I mean, look, see what Construct 8 looks like as well. Oh, so Construct 8's a minion. But you can get Construct... 14 as a mount, which looks more like... That's pretty cool. I need 180 Bosjan clusters. I don't know what a Bosjan cluster is, but cool. Do I have Bosjan? What the hell is the Bosjan Southern Front? Oh, is this related to the... Oh, this might be related to the... relic weapons. Yeah, resistant weapons. Sorry, resistance weapons. Wait, is that... Level 70. Hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's related to the FF Tactics stuff, isn't it? So when you do the FF Tactics stuff, that gives you the relic weapons. And then as part of the relic weapons, I can get Bosjan clusters, which I can use to buy a robot. Alright, well that's entirely too much effort for a mount. So, it's a shame. It's a cool looking robot. It kind of reminds me of... not Dygard. Although it does kind of look a little bit like Dygard. But it reminds me of... if I type that in, that'll come up with it. The Big O. That's the robot I was thinking of. It looks like the Big O. I couldn't remember the name of the robot, but I could remember the text that was written inside the robot, which is cast in the name of God, ye are not worthy. And so I just typed that in and it came up with the Big O. Like I said, it's a cool robot, but I don't have time to faff around with relic stuff. It takes too long. Ah yes, Master Chai told us to expect you. The emergent is already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizens and non-citizens. But for you, our guest of honor, we have reserved a place at the front. Right this way, sir. Can I get a chair? No. Do you want me to go and get your robots for you, dear?
Go on, dear.
Come on, Nuz.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Yulmore to look around? Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthry's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Yulmore's new beginning.
I am not a fan of this bandwagoning, Alphino. You are not... It's singular. You barely contributed.
As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Vorthry. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Yulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Vorthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Yulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done.
Did we ever communicate to, like, the wider population what mule was made out of? Did they know that they were eating... Sinians used to be people, so yeah, did they know they were eating reconstituted people? Or did we just decide not to tell them?
Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Yulmore!
Oh, I kind of thought you'd all be like, for Yulmore! Okay. Who was that guy at the back with the eye patch? He seemed like a main character. Like some pirate Jesus. With his hair clipping through his hood. Anyway, we did it. We've saved Yulmore-ish. That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. It stirred them to action, I hope. If I've learned anything from all this, it is that change begins with the individual. It is but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming my fellow Yulmorans can, it shall be my honour and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. Yes, but we must not forget the individuals who made all of these changes possible. Those 3 robots. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which this city stands. Yeah, that's fine. Do that. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving into the emergent, dearest. It's too big, for one thing, and too far from the people for another. We will retain our current residence, and I will govern here in the parlour. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlour. Begging your master, Master Chai, have you got time for a word? Yes, of course. Haffenbet? Oh, that's me. I like your speech, but there's folk outside these walls that don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow. And more who are counting their crumbs. If you have a plan to change that, I want to upset things into motion. And then we have much to discuss. And no sooner I take up office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Jack. I hope to see you again before long. That's the last we saw of them. What a day. I don't know what it really means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such time as Yulmore's future was secured, but it is clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. Yeah, you could carve you could get my pompadour. Like that like one of the bits that stick out. I could hold up this city with my head. That would work quite nicely. I have every confidence they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. So Alphino's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I mean, Alphino was never a citizen here. I don't know. It's like, oh, even Alphino's moving on. It's like he was here for like an hour. I've been here as long as Alphino has. Now I'm thinking about what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. That paradise is gone. But something's better taking its place, and I reckon I want to be part of it. Even though I'm pretty sure the people like living here ate my friends. I mean, they did it unknowingly, but still, we can be friends. Yes, Yulmore for the people Master Chai's been going on about ain't gonna build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference though. That'll keep things changing for the better. A far nobler dream than one to which you clung before, and one I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We've got a few ideas now we can do our bit. Just a matter of taking the first step. After this CD, going to make another giant ass golem. I mean, I guess there's nothing stopping them, yeah. No, it didn't. It was quite a process making it, but I also don't think there was anything that they made it with that was like something super rare either. It was just awkward getting all the supplies together. I mean, also the giant ass golem is still up there. They could just turn it back on. Truly, to see Kai share thus spurred by her actions is inspiring in itself. Yet, however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Yulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we shall return to the Crystal Tower. Mayhap Becklook's studies have borne fruit in our absence. Yeah, that's the end of Yulmore, I think. We have solved Yulmore. I will. There you go. Choose it eventually. I do like in games where, and I say it I do like in games. I don't know that many do this, but Xenoverse did this, or Xenoverse 2 did this, where you had a creator character in the first game, and in the second game, if you imported your save, you created a new creator character, but your creator character was a statue. Well, I think it was a giant hologram, but it could easily have been a statue as well, in the city, as like the hero of the first game. You also showed up, which I quite liked. I quite liked that your creator character from the first game showed up in the second game. Just, you know, continuing being Trunks' right-hand man. More games should do that with creator characters. I quite like it when they kind of acknowledge them as part of the plot. What I'm saying is, when they make Final Fantasy XIV 2, and I create a new character, I want them to export my save and have statues all over the place of my Warrior of Light. And I want him to be a giant face in the rock underneath Yulmore. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is with a... Yeah, just let me in. I forget what Hatier's voice is. Welcome back. We are given to understand a new mayor has taken office in Yulmore. Indeed, our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote, and after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the post. It is a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Aura site? Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference, and concluded at length that White Aura site was ill-suited for our purposes. But, Urianger, did you not say that compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did, and armed as we are with Beck-Luke's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter, were we to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul. A link which would, we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Aurasight doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshy simulacra, and the surfeit of ether which compromiseth them, would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. It would theoretically be possible to channel your mind into the Aurasight instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process. Which is why we have abandoned the plan. Ah, come on! Let's try it. You guys sound like quitters. Let's try it and see what happens. And instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. Then we are no closer to a solution than when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. Yeah, I'm gonna kill myself. If we've been over this will solve all of our problems. And when our discussions turned to the transference of memories and the psyche, I could not help but remind of a technique with which I have personal experience. Jack, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Une? No, because it was like a year ago. I speak of the royal eye of the Allagan Imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allagans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allagans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. It is our current avenue of investigation. We will follow it wheresoever it leads. Right. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that Jack return to the source and inform Cryle and the others of our findings. Agreed. I imagine Tartary will be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. Then I would beg leave to relay our findings unto Thancred and Reen, and to assist where I may in their investigation of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need for your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Bye, Ranger. Not really dressed for the desert, but bye. Okay, bye. Actually, I suppose he's... give our regards to Tartary, won't you? Please tell her to, you know... lay off the drinks. I'm sure she's been knocking them back whilst we've been gone. Right, where am I going? So I'm trying to remember what the post Heavensward and Stormblood quests were like, and whether they were quite so. I mean, they always take a little while to get going. So I kind of blot out these kinds of quests where there's not a lot going on. Heavensward immediately had like an evil priest pushing a child onto a dragon, though. Like that was very early into, and what's his chops got stabbed. There was quite a lot going on in Heavensward. Less in Stormblood. That was more about like. Oh no, there's that guy who showed up, and then there was what's her chops, and she'd lost her memories and go set. So yeah, there was lots going on. Anyway, I mean we're still early doors. I think we're in like still the single digits, but Jack, you're back. How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Crow will be here shortly, and Sean here too. She's just tending to the others. Their bodies, I mean. Gods, just changing their diapers, clearing out the bags. I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. Upon speaking to Tari, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Ah! Well, here we go. It was me complaining that there wasn't a lot going on, and now there's several cutscenes in sequence.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I have carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
Well, there was mayoral election. I was second, close second, very close second. But there's this other guy. He's got a wife.
So this Becklug's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Urianger's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it.
Yeah, ingenious, but it's not going to work. We just discussed this.
Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Maybe we're thinking about this the wrong way around. Maybe rather than trying to get their souls back to the first, maybe I should take their bodies. Well, can I just consider their bodies part of my property and take their bodies to the first? Then we can put their souls into their bodies, and then they can then travel back with me to the first, or possibly be permanently stuck in the first. It's also an option. But, you know, at least we'd get rid of the time limit.
Oh, you're back.
Hey, it's Batman! He's less cool now.
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Well, you Christopher Columbus, swaggity swiddy, your booty is now my property. Well, you know, I have to own them in order to transport them. So yeah, I'll just claim ownership of their corpses, bring them all to the first, and then we can, you know, figure out what to do from there. I feel like that's if there's the problem of putting their souls in crystals is going to risk lobotomizing them, then do it this way.
Estinian! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
Ah, Riol. Him, that guy. Or her, or them.
More complicated how?
How are they doing?
where to begin.
We stopped the poison attack, though. That's good, right?
After entering the Empire via Razat Khan, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Baelsar. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very Imperial Palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead. But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh.
Yeah, his head's a bit wonky now, but...
Xenos Ye Galvus.
Yeah. Man, why does the lame villain get to come back to life? Bring back Emmett. I mean, we only just killed him, but...
Nor did the surprises end there. For no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead. This sent Gaius into a rage, and he charged in, blade drawn.
Sorry.
What's wrong?
Me and Cryle have gotten bored of your story. We're just going to use our gift to just take a look. I've seen him in action, his body at least. You will not best him alone. Nay, death will not come easily to that thing. If you would join me, then by all means. For what good it will do. The Black Wolf and the Aes Dragoon. Together you make a kind of dark blue, I suppose. This might suffice. Come then. Like seriously, every time I see this guy, his hair annoys me. Because I just think, like, imagine if he turns his head up and then he just catches his hair on that little spiky metal bit at the front, and he can't turn his head properly. Oh, look at these two. They've been friends like half an hour and they're already doing Chrono Trigger style co-op moves. Like, Alphino, where's our combination move? Ah, the simple pleasure of one's own flesh. Truly, there is no place like home. Abomination. Whatever he is, Jack was barely a match for him. If we stay here much longer, I like the me and this city on a first-name basis. Emperor Varus, your Radiance, are you alright? We heard noises. But you know, not the normal noises we hear. I know generally you and your dad fight quite... Anyway, we're here now. We may wear out our welcome. Your Radiance, no. Oh, it's it's Steve and John, the two guards, who are clearly women now that I look at them in bed. But well, I know that they're women now, but at the time I didn't when I named them. Ah, yes, even the most middling of sport be spoiled. Oh, must even the most middling of sport be spoiled. The world conspires to bore me. I mean, oh no, these men have killed my father. Seize them. They have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Tiros! Bye. Oh, we should have stayed outside pretending we couldn't hear anything. I like that the bullets that he ejected still had the shells in them. Is that what you call the bit on the end of the bullet? Like, he clearly hadn't fired the bullets. Bye! Your radiance! Oh. Hey, Sensations for us. I feel like you'll be a 5-star card. Have you seen the numbers on my card? My numbers are 0, 4, 1, and 2. I'd barely be a 1-star card. I don't think you can even get a 0 on Triple Triad cards. That's how bad my card is. But thank you. It's nice of you to say. The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available Magitech armor. We cannot let them escape. Can they see in that armor? There doesn't seem to be an eyepiece. Anna and Julia are blind, and they're just... Oh! Hells yeah! I'm Batman! Oh, hang on. That one! Armor Dragoon! There we go. I feel like Estinian's gameplay, like the MMO kind of format doesn't really lend itself very well. I feel like I should be playing Dynasty Warriors. Oh. I need to... Oh. Alright, bye you two. Nice to see you again. Hope you're keeping well. They seem like nice girls, don't they, Gaius? Let's make a... let's split up. Alright then, I'll take the low road, so to speak. I forgot my surname was Wormblood. Oh, it's like, thank God I can't hear that obnoxious alarm anymore. It doesn't even sound like an alarm. It just sounds like a robot saying, kill me. Well, well, someone's been busy. Oh, I found myself... Oh, no, never mind. I thought maybe I found myself in the Emmett clone room. Oh, hang on. Volatile prototype Arc Ultima. And you would bar my way with you, so be it. Come, Nidhogg, lend me your strength. So who's that guy in the back? Is he just some random Empire guy, or? Ooh. Damage sponge for this one, isn't it? Oh, this is just some random person. Okay. I was just wondering if it was like some guy that I was supposed to know who it was. There was some foreshadowing. It's good to know it's just some random guy. I'll be honest, I can't really pay attention to what it's doing. I've just been running around and avoiding the orange circles on the ground. Maybe I zoom out a little bit. Oh, alright, well, here we go. Definitely trying a little bit harder. I'm about to destroy it. Are you watching the same fight? Woo!
Taste my lungs.
Why did I get cool special moves as the Warrior of Light? Where's my super move? Maybe that's my limit break. I never used them, so. Garleans and their Machina. Now, where are you, Gaius? I really thought it was going to explode behind him. Also, Gaius, how did you know those things that happened if you weren't there to watch them? Oh no, wait, we were watching Astinian, weren't we? Not Gaius. We don't know where Gaius is.
Are you alright?
Yeah, just echoing. You know how it is for us chosen ones.
Peer into my past, did you?
You were very cool, don't worry.
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours. But no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. And that Xenos took his leave, citing boredom.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than hero traversing the rift between worlds.
Oh, me, yes.
My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray. Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Xenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose. Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
Then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did, but we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry, I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead.
Yeah, I'd prefer Gaius, honestly. I can't, we know Gaius. He's a known quantity.
Speaking of which, I'll see that Riol and Al Shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing. It can't hurt to be vigilant.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud, I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but with the Archon still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
I'm really tired.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Thank you for your help then, Estinian. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
No promises. It has happened multiple times. No one's killed me yet, though. They've all been quite polite and waited. Oh, though Xenos was about to. But then...
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it. Go on.
Actually, wasn't Estin the one who saved me from Xenos? That might be what he was referring to. You must be shattered after all that, hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay and rest for a while? I'm sure Beck Luke can manage without you. You've got enough science to help them. They've got enough science to help them, if you ask me. The next quest: go to sleep. Get a proper night's sleep and a meal. You know, have a mental health day. Meanwhile. No, okay, well, so much for no civil war. Traitors, you were dead and I, Lord Nerva, at the throne. That was Lord Nerva. Ah! Onward! Before this day is done, victory shall be ours! Boring, boring, boring. Do you think? I find it amusing. Like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse. I don't know who this is. Sharingan! That you, your soul is... Who are you? Before your majesty, I am but another dog, lost in want of a new master. A hunting dog, if you should wish it so. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Is it me? Oh, it's Zodiac. Okay. Meanwhile... Did you hear? There's reopening Daedalus Stoneworks and they're looking for labourers. We just did this bit. There's talk of resetting some of the old abandoned villages too. They're even laying on free Talos to help anyone willing to make the move. Free Talos. Ah, we'd best get packing. See, that's how you inspire people. Free robots. Steady work, board and lodging. If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is. Oh. Oh. Oh, hang on. Didn't I absorb you? Yes, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. Ah. Has an Ascian, like, taken over Ardbert's Ardbert? Damn it, why can I never remember the Warrior of Darkness' name? It is Ardbert, isn't it? Yes. Okay, good. I think the problem with it is that Ardbert isn't a name. Like, I know that a lot of these aren't names. Kryl and Tataru also aren't named. But Ardbert doesn't sound like a name. And so I keep thinking, is it Ardbert? And I went, no, it can't be Ardbert. No, who would call anyone Ardbert? And it's Ardbert. It's just a stupid name. Anyway, Ardbert. I didn't... See, Albert would have been more... would have been better. Albert would have been fine. If it was called Albert, I'd remember Albert. Like, this is what I mean. They just need a few more characters with normal names. Okay? We just need a few more, like, Carls. It would have been fine. Alright? Actually, Albert said with an over-the-top Asian accent. Yeah, but they speak in English voice. They're British voice actors, so it's Ardbert. It just sounds wrong. Albert would have been fine. I don't know why. It's just why I can't remember his name, because it doesn't sound right. So when I remember it, I think I second-guess myself. And then I forget. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, well, I mean, I can see that's just trust. I think you understand why Automod flagged that one up. But I do what you mean. Well, I mean, I don't think Yoshi's got anything to do with the translation, though. I think because it's the... I guess British team? I guess it's the English studio that manages the voice actors that does the translation. Or maybe it's Square Enix of America. I don't know. I don't know who does the translation. Yeah, let's keep going. It's our old one-armed friend. Jack, what a pleasant surprise. What do you mean, what a pleasant surprise? I haven't gone anywhere. I've just been standing here, waxing lyrical about Ardbert's name. If you've come to inquire about the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal ether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent enough that these magics may be, they are not without limits. Oh, Ardbert is Ardbert in Japanese too, is it? Oh, okay. Then yeah, I guess he's just written it like incredibly phonetically, as you say, with like a, with Albert with a Japanese. Well, the D is because it'd be Aru. It would surely be Arubit. It'd be like Aru rather than Ard. That's yeah, Arubit. That surely that would be the Japanese pronunciation of Albert. Or you could go really Aruberu. No, we wouldn't go. You wouldn't do 2, I don't think. Anyway, indeed, it's just like I said. Ardbert's fine. It's the reason why I don't remember his name, because it just doesn't sit with me as a name. If it was called Albert, it would be fine. Like, but yeah, they've chosen their name, and now it's stuck. It's better than, I mean, to be fair though, I like Ardbert more than the Warrior of Light's canon name, apparently, which is, I don't know when that was decided, but I've been seeing people refer to the Warrior of Light as Meteor, which is, I mean, that's not a name, that's a summon. That's just a thing. Like, Ardbert's I would call him Ardbert again. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the first and help. What exactly would you do, Tartaru? There is no admin in the first that requires your assistance. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Oh, it's Maxima. Ah, Jack, it has been far too long, my friend. Jack's like, yeah, I remember who you are. I actually do remember Maxima. He was the guy from the Empire who was with the other guy who we killed, who was a prick. Forgive me, I don't believe we've been formally introduced. I am from I'm from Garlemald, the country that kidnapped you and experimented on your echo and tortured you. How do you do? Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Aldin, offering what counsel I can in hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Oh, so everyone's got the exact same name in the Japanese as the English, do they? That's interesting. I mean, I suppose there's no reason to translate them differently. I suppose, yeah. The other guy was annoying. And the thing that's most annoying about that guy, though, is... Because I don't bother to build a Triple Triad deck when I play Triple Triad. I just auto-select because the rules change, and I get so many new cards all the time. It's pointless building a deck because it'd be constantly out of date. And he is one of the cards... He is currently one of my best cards. And so I constantly get reminded of him because he's constantly in my deck. Ah, yes, I've heard stories of defected from Garlemald. But never mind that, you said you had urgent news. Indeed. As you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Commander Eldon has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extend this invitation. The only Scion who is currently conscious. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone, though I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades. I see no reason to burden a single Scion with all this. Oh, I suppose Cryod is considered a Scion as well. Yes, of course. Then we must make for the Alamegan Quarter with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two. Looks like Tartar is on diaper duty. Cross card, apparently. Yeah, this fucker. Asahi Sas Brutus. He's currently one of my best cards. And so he's constantly in my deck. Did I didn't get Lady... Oh, no, I did get them quite recently. I remember now. They were some of the cards that were available after Stormblood. No, after Shadowbringers... main quest ended. Oh, today's trust. I like how you just position yourself in places you know I'm going to run past. Well, I could have just teleported out of here. I almost did. And now will. Woo. Never I sat at a table because I am eating. Oh, of course. Sorry. Sorry for... Don't let me interrupt your roleplay. Commander Eldon awaits us in the Royal Palace. If you would follow me. Oh, is it Gaius? I think it is. I recognise those arm bandages. Like Soga King. Oh, and also hi, Raban.
They're here, Commander.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the Scions spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured.
I order pizza because every muscle in my body is dead. That's the best time to order pizza. Just when you absolutely can't be bothered.
Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury.
Dare I ask what you did to make all of the muscles in your body dead?
I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
Hi. So are we cool now? What's the deal?
Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
Okay.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence.
I mean, kind of. I also, technically, I know you don't really understand the whole two worlds thing, but me saving the world technically rid the world of the... It wouldn't have worked, basically.
Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand.
I think that's how it works. Or maybe it's just that fate conspires for it to not work. I don't know.
Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
Thank you for that summary. Thank you for that last time on Final Fantasy XIV summary, Cryle.
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed, few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanus, and its leadership has changed hands several times since.
Is that someone I killed, or is this unrelated to something that I've done?
Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea.
That's the kind of thing I really would appreciate at last time on Final Fantasy XIV summary.
We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you.
There's also Estinian and the 7 other people I fought the Ultima weapon with.
And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Take a drink.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first.
Your back's killing me. I can't get in a comfortable position.
I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
It's something about just every like serious cutscene with a Lalafell instantly ruined by just watching them waddle away. Like super seriously. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. I'm going back to the first, bye. Ooh, salmon. Waddle waddle till the very next day. I do know, it's adorable, but it does take the edge off some of the more serious scenes. I take it you're ready to return to the first. Then I'd ask you apprise the others of recent events here in the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you may assure them that Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ether stable. Safe travels, Jack. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. Alright. To the first. Well, this is a short quest. Like, I literally just have to teleport. So just speak to the Crystal Exarch and I'm done. Shadowbringers. Post Shadowbringers, there we go. Just sort of seeing if there's anything coming up that I need to... But nah, nothing in... I get a new weapon in a little bit, but otherwise nothing. What? I don't know why I walked over to the FFXIV shard. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm going to teleport over there. Yeah, we'll do a few more missions. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and the means to return the Scions home. I trust you two have been making good use of your time? Ill tidings from the source, you say? Then I'll summon the others, or we might be apprised of the situation. It's like, hey everyone, everything's going to shit. We really need you to get back in your bodies quick. Far from a full house, but I'll take what I can get.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source?
Wonder if Alfredo's going to be all
A
giddy
new
about Estinian.
Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Becklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
We've made a car. We're gonna ride to the first in a Winnebago.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
To be honest, it just seems like white aurosite, but in a slightly different form. Like, the big deal about white aurosite not being suitable, and then they've just gone, yeah, well, we've got a different type of crystal.
However,
though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allagan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Whiter aurosite, yeah, exactly.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
Whiter, bloody aurosite. That's like pink aurosite, then.
as well you should be. The Allagan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found.
Let's just go with Super Aurosite and call it a day. That's a safe name. You know, everyone knows that Super Aurosite is better than regular Aurosite. There's no connotations. Everything's dandy.
Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
It's a safe name. Super Aurosite is... Yeah. White Super Aurosite. Okay. White Super Aurosite. Okay, alright. It's quite close. Okay, what about... Mega Aurosite? Final Fantasy uses Mega all the time. There's like Mega Flare and... just Mega Flare. No, not Maga. Oh. Stop fighting me on this. Cool! Cool Orosite!
My apologies.
I'm gonna get back to calling them Pokeballs.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness.
See, warrior, singular, Alphino. Friggin'
But there is no
bandwagoner.
need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
He's super serious when he got outside and he's like, it's the Exarch's birthday, and I don't know, I need help with preparing his decorations. I'm preparing the meal. I need to go get some goblin milk. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it would be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? So stop trying to ruin Orosite, alright? We'll go with Pokeballs, and we'll just stick with that. That's what they're... Oh, I guess Scion Balls? Because we're not catching Pokemon, we're catching Scions. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. A Sin Eater? I had heard some few yet remained after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater, a simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes. However harmless they may seem, my men would do well to learn from your example. You are ruthless. Why not Alphino? Let him do it. I'm busy. You cannot be serious. Come now, Jack. What could be more inspiring than fighting alongside the renowned Warrior of Darkness himself? Oh, you were quite happy to let friggin' Nuz Chai, whatever his name, Nuz Chai, call us the Warriors of Darkness when we're in Yulmore. But now that they're like, oh, we need the Warrior of Darkness to help fight a Sin Eater, you're like, oh no, all you, Jack, Warrior, singular, yeah, bandwagoning prick. Excellent. Let us make for Fort Job. China's. Yeah, yeah. See, I remember the Nuz part because I think of Nuzlocke. That bit's stuck in my head now. But I'm never going to remember which way round the Chai and the Nuz is. Because his wife's surname is Chai, and then he's Chai Nuz. And so I get confused. If you would wait here a moment, I will gather the others. I can never enjoy chai tea after I saw Art of China's tea bag. Well, I mean, yeah, that is very much a rod you've put in your own back, I feel. Like, you sort that out, and... well, yeah, you only have yourself to blame. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door that day after the Sin Eaters attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd have likely stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field, of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honour her or my comrades. And so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Truly. It seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an Amara to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think the Amuran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side, but we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lateland. Jack's just getting glassy-eyed, just nodding, going, uh-huh, uh-huh. Don't remember any of these guys. They always seem to be missing one. He appears to have lost his helmet. Well, my apologies, Captain Leader. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmount. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but the soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honoured guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. I'm sure you don't remember, we met once before in the infirmary. Why does he get a flashback? Like, we've been talking about so much stuff that happened ages ago, and they haven't shown a flashback card for anyone, but Thaler, they decided to do one for. Fine. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know, I was already talking to him. Don't give up, don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. Yeah, I don't like Thaler either. It is a dumb name. And he gets a flashback. It's like, we were talking about like stuff that happened in A Realm Reborn earlier, and I didn't get any flashback. Do you know how many hundreds of hours ago that was? And then we talk about Thaler, about some conversation we had in the infirmary maybe like 10, 15 hours ago. So I don't care about this guy. My friend got to see the Knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. There are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know, and so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Okay. Nod. Thank you for your inspiring nod, Warrior of Darkness. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. I'm just doing a tour. Is there an Oris? No, there's not an Oris. Do that. I'm just doing a world tour, just introducing people. Like, hello, Warrior of Darkness here. Would you like me to sign your helmet? No, it's okay. I've got one of those white pens for writing on black armor. It's fine. Doesn't even sign his name, he just writes the word nod. Hi. You seem to have this in hand, I'm gonna be honest.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself? Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, who are you, the Warrior of Bleeding Darkness? And he says, no, I'm a Warrior of Light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
Wait, that's me. I'm also that thing.
A Warrior of Light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the Warrior of Darkness.
Hey? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
It is. I am phenomenal. Guy walks around with a welding pen so he can sign people's armors. Yeah. Well,
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
a little bit of spot welding. You don't want something that will rub off.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
It's actually quite a clever signature, because the Warrior of Light writes the
I
word nod.
apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat.
But he puts a little flick on the N, so it looks like WAD, and people go, oh, Warrior of Darkness, but he knows what he's actually written.
As for this Warrior of Light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing.
This is about the Exarch's birthday party.
A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Yes. You're too young for this. Me and the bunny girl need to have a private conversation.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch.
Oh, it is about his birthday party.
Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating. Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice.
For someone who says you will not mince words, you're mincing them quite a bit.
Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man. A younger man.
He's just fanboy.
I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
She wants to bang the 3,000-year-old cat guy, doesn't she? I mean, Grahar is a, handsome-looking guy if you ignore all the bits of him that were made out of rock. Anchors keep us where we have chosen to be.
Is that so?
What the fuck would the cat guy, bun girl baby look like? I guess just medium-length ears and a medium-length tail, and otherwise exactly the same.
Then
it's really the only difference.
We might remain as we were. as we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Lena is adorable. It's a shame she wasn't more important to the plot. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. And I will bow out from the plot once again. Goodbye. Alright, and back to Alphinaud. Checking. There isn't anyone. Anyone else? No. Okay. Thought maybe there might be someone who might want a triple triad with me. I mean, I got these cards out, and I haven't played a single game. I didn't play any last week. I'm starting to get an itch. Hang on. Let me check something real quick. Because I finished the patch, the first patch 5.1. I wonder if Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty. Let me check my triple triad tracker. Because sometimes I am not logged in. Oh, okay, well that's fine. Wait, is that okay? Yes, that is okay. 5.1. Oh, Sicken. Manic Pixie Dream Realm. That is not a quest that I have done. Dang it, that's probably a side quest. Alright, so there is someone in Ilmeg who has cards, but I need to go and do a quest called Manic Pixie Dream Realm, which is the wheel turns. I've done the wheel turns. The wheel turns. No. Viscous Aklom. Oh, phooey. It's not easy to get to. Point is, I'm not going to do any triple triad today. Those were quite shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland. But now that you're here, there's a proposal I should like to make. I think we should go back to killing the Crystal Exarch. I feel like it's the most surefire way to get us back. I've been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people perusing books on history, in the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as sin-eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance, in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors, may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I, too, can attest to the falsehoods found within many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I am not surprised to see their roles distorted and then painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, their reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the flood. Considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Vobert. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as Sin Eaters is absurd. Well, again, they did cause the flood which led to the Sin Eaters, so it's not that absurd. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew first-hand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained: that they were the cause of the flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. Or at least 2 of them. The other 3 are still apparently wandering in the wastelands as, like, weird Sin Eater zombies. You claimed it was Ardbert who helped you overcome Emet-Selk, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. Are we going to make a new picture book for the Cabinet of Curiosity? He's like, I need you to get me some crayons. To that end, I say we proceed with Alphino's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light and the flood that followed in their wake. Good to know that if we ever make any sort of mistake, the whole world will turn on us. I'd like to see them try. I'm singularly one of the most powerful existences in the world. Well, what say you, Jack? Ah, spread the word. Let's do a play. Then we're all of one mind on the matter. Good. Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Becklug on our means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the Exedra. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. I seriously think, like, just let's make a pamphlet and then just hand the pamphlets out and be like, hey, the Warrior of Light, not so bad. And just a big picture of me on the front going, Warrior of Darkness approved. Warriors of Light, more like Warriors of Might not be so bad. Actually. Jack, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope your being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients going through my doors of late, which is a shame, come to think of it. I've had fewer opportunities to test my new medicines. I jest, of course. It's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and again. The truth about the Warriors of Light? But the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Where are you going? Tell me about it. It's like, no. I can't be bothered to tell you more than once. So I need everyone together at the same time. Otherwise, I'm just wasting oxygen. This place is so annoying to get around. Am I going the right way? I don't think I am going the right way. Can I at least throw myself off the edge? Okay, well, we're alright. Cat letters here. Oh, wow, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from Grenor not long ago. It says a visitor from the Crystarium found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that he inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats. I would say the latter is far more impressive. I think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place. I'm sorry, you mean the exile didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Do you know what this place needs? A loud speaker system, like some sort of PA system. So we can just be like, okay, everyone gather. Everyone gather, please. We've been lying to you about what happened. And, you know, now that the problem's been fixed with... Hi, moron. No, this can't be. Surely there's at least one book here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Hi. Oh. Oh, Jack, forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks the knowledge they seek. People wish to know the truth of the flood of the Warriors of Light. I've searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin-eaters, abominations worthy of only scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, and I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. You would address the people and tell them the truth of the Warriors of Light, of the Flood. How wonderful. You have regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. It's like, I mean, I didn't say anything like a +1, moron. But, you know, good, great, fantastic. Yeah, more the merrier. I guess this one? Okay, well, I can see Braggy, that's one at least. Hey, Braggy. Come to browse wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need. Whatever it may be, under Yulmore's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is that fellow from Daedalus Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? One little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Northrend reaps the benefits. But you've not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind? Or Israelite? I see. The executive mentioned that they had something to do with your returning the night to Northrend. Alright, consider my interest piqued. I haven't done my, Hello. Ooh, I got some ginger. Yeah. Nice. Right, bye. I really wish you could do retainer stuff with the mobile app. The mobile app is so useless. Because I've got it because I wanted to unlock the emote, and then I was looking at like what you can do, and then looking at this, and it's like, oh, if you pay, you can sell stuff on the marketplace remotely, and it's like, yeah, but if I can't earn stuff remotely, then like, what's the point of being able to sell? I mean, yeah, if I could manage my retainers through the app and send them on ventures and reclaim them, that'd be so much more useful. Well, what way with the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you to be brief. When the night returned, these have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I found myself too busy by half. I don't mind you though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. The Warriors of Light? Yeah, the Exile was mentioned them before, but everyone knows them now as the Cardinal Virtues. Or are you suggesting there's more to it than that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say. There you go, I've done it. Hang on. Once you've made a substantial contribution to the safety of Lakeland, Kalusia, Amarang, Ilmeg, the Raktika Great Wig, and the Tempest, you'll be able to trade with this vendor. What do you mean? Once I have made a substantial contribution to the safety of Lakeland. I have returned the night! I have saved your poxy little world! How dare you? Once you've made a significant contribution. I killed the fucking Sin Eaters, you prick! There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we've swept the Crystarium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather. For fucking liberty. You trade gems with me, you asshole.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
By the way, me being the Warrior of Darkness was supposed to be a secret. Do you remember at the end of Shadowbringers, there was that little kid who went, "Are you the Warrior of Darkness?" And I went, "Shh." I put my finger up to my lips. I think that little shit went around telling everyone. Because lots of people seem to know that I'm the Warrior of Darkness now, and I think this is a really very poorly kept secret. Alright, this is the card game I'm going to teach you all. Oh, yeah, this is how I'll get them to... This is how I'll get them to be on board with the Warrior of Light. Through the power of a TCG. It does just tickle me when they try and have the Warrior of Light do like these heartfelt like speeches, and it's just the Warrior of Light just mouth flapping and completely silent going.
Wicked White? The Warriors of Light did all that?
It just reminds me of like the Tenacious D song Tribute, where they're like, "Oh, we couldn't remember the greatest song, so this is just a tribute to the greatest song." It's like we couldn't remember we couldn't remember the incredibly awe-inspiring tale that the Warrior of Light said. So this is just kind of this is kind of broadly what happened. You can just kind of fill in the blanks. Just thinks someone in the crowd. I think you're muted. Oh, a streamer's nightmare. It's like you've been talking for 5 minutes and someone just said, "Sorry, we didn't want to say anything. We thought you were concentrating."
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls.
Thank you, DualSense wireless controller battery.
And they managed it too. In the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
Also, technically, the Warrior of Darkness, the Warrior of Light was a fragment of my soul, and he's recombined with me now.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
So, in cursing their names, you were cursing 1/14 of my name. Just It's unrelated to the Warrior of Light story, but I just feel like if we're being transparent, I should explain that part. I'm 8/14 of a real boy. Well, that's not the smile that Ardbert made.
Impossible.
You can see him too. Okay, so it's definitely not an imaginary friend this time.
I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay. Yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
What in the world?
No worries, Travis. I'm probably going to stop after this mission, so if I'm not here when you get back, thanks for watching, as always.
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the Warrior of Darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time. Though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium! I am Ardbert. One of those you know as a warrior of light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
I got better!
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I.
Well, either this is a fake, or I'm only 7/14 of a real boy.
I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the Warrior of Darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home.
Oh, yeah. Did we not mention that
This
bit?
land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
Yeah. I appreciate the sentiment, Art, but this is a little cringe.
What? Us? Warriors of Light?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure.
We must all become the Final Fantasy.
But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former.
This doesn't sound like Ardbert.
Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
I mean, I suppose the Ardbert that we got acquainted with was very kind of downtrodden after being a ghost for 100 years that no one could talk to. So maybe he's cheered up a little bit, but he still seems off, you know?
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired under the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
I mean, it could be a Sin Eater. We already know that the Sin Eaters can pretend to be humans.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
Okay, no, so I am pretty convinced it's not him.
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Okay, good. I'm back to 8/14.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a Sin Eater he is not.
Okay, well that rules that out then.
Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
Plastic surgery.
That he is an Ascian.
Oh, or that. Yes, that's the other thing.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree.
But Ardbert didn't have a corpse. Like, he's been a ghost for 100 years. I mean, I guess he had a corpse somewhere, but...
From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Oh, okay. So they did have his corpse, but surely it would have been, there wouldn't have been much of it left after 100 years.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emmett Selk's failure here in the first, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
That tracks. Why not wait until after we've gone, though? Like, he knows that we plan to go back to the source. So, why not wait until everyone's gone and we're unlikely to return for a while?
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen. My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light.
See, there we go. Now we've got a flashback to something that happened actually a while ago. This is useful. I like this. Give me flashbacks.
On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while La Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Oh yeah. He did do that for a bit.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Well, if they got more Warriors of Light, they can cause another flood, can't they?
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case,
I'm gonna leave
it may
soon.
be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
Oh yeah, Alphino can take out an Ascian, sure. Should be fine. Leave him to it. And we'll take money again. Alright, well the plot has started to thicken a little bit. We've got a fake warrior of light darkness. We've got a fake Omega weapon. Everything else is real. Yeah. So what's the next quest? Sleep disturbed. Yeah, okay, I reckon next week we should be able to get to the next dungeon. And then... Well, we're well on our way towards Endwalker. A couple of months, I reckon, and I can finally start the most current expansion. It's exciting times. But we'll stop there for tonight. It's 1:15, and it's just, late enough for me. But I'll be back tomorrow. We got more Pokemon Infinite Fusion with our boy Brock. I have tweaked his personality once more. I have picked up a handy little trick in programming that should make him slightly more compliant and less likely to do pirate voices passive aggressively for the entire stream. Hopefully. So, yeah, we'll, if I see you then, I'll see you then. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. But yeah, thanks for watching if you did. I'm gonna... Does he still want to eat all the Pokemon? That part's... He may still want to. But I found... Basically, I found a way to get the AI to be less like... Oh no, we need to make sure we're being respectful and keep making sure we're using a positive influence on everything and blah blah blah. All the HR speak. Basically, you need to trick it into role playing and being like. So you need to stay for research purposes. You need to stay in character, and this is the character. So you need to make sure that you stay in character and do the things. So hopefully we should get less HR-approved responses from Brock. But yes, I think he does still want to eat all the Pokemon. But like I said, I mean, it seems like they eat Pokemon in Pokemon, so it should be okay. I guess so long as he doesn't want to eat any of our Pokemon. Yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. He's developing. So yeah, so if I see him for that, I shall see for that, and hopefully we can make a bit more progress than one gym badge in 9 hours. I got that Timmy on the SSN. So yeah, so I'll see you then, otherwise I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching if you did, have a good night, and stay dandy. Goodbye!